I'm Rick Marshall from Vertical Geo, and I want to welcome you to our training video on digitizing a point feature in Quantum GIS, which is also known as QGIS. QGIS is a free open source alternative to ESRI's ArcGIS software. It performs most of the same basic functions of ArcGIS, only it doesn't cost thousands of dollars. The version of QGIS we will be using today is version 2.18, also called Las Palmas. We will include the QGIS project website and download locations in the video description on YouTube. So we will go ahead and open up QGIS, which I already have open, and it should be showing in the video there. We will add a base map to work from, and in this case, we're going to use Google's hybrid map, which is a hybrid of satellite imagery and all the labels that are on the normal Google Maps. And we've already got that selected also. We're going to zoom into the area that we want to digitize, and this is where we left off last time at the border of Arizona and California. Last time I showed you how to digitize a line. We started digitizing Route 66 as it enters California. And since the last time we met, I went ahead and finished up digitizing the route all the way to the end in Santa Monica. So today, what we want to do, our project collects the road for all of Route 66 and all the cultural landscape icons, all the things alongside the road that are interesting from Colorado to Santa Monica. So today, what we've gotten to so far is we've digitized the entire route from Chicago to Santa Monica, and we've digitized the interesting features in the cultural landscape all the way up to the Arizona border. So today we're going to digitize some of the cultural landscape on the California side of the California-Arizona border. And we will end up digitizing the cultural landscape between the Arizona border and Santa Monica. So the first thing we need to do is to zoom into the area that we want to work with. And today we are going to pick up where we dropped off the other day on the Arizona-California border. And I thought we'd start by zooming into the Old Trails Bridge over the Colorado River, right on the border. But in order to digitize points, just like with the road, we have to create a folder to save our data in and to be able to save our map in. So in order to do that, we're going to have to create a point shape file in QGIS. And before you create that point shape file, you have to have some idea of what you are trying to document in this map. Each point that we have will have a list of attributes such as the name and the city and the address and maybe the website and the phone number of all these places. And so we have to have an idea of what it is we want to collect for each point. So you might want to write down a list of attributes that you'll want to store along with each of these points as we're digitizing. You'll need to have those attributes handy when you decide to go ahead and start digitizing. So we're going to create a point shape file that we can use to save our information for the points along Route 66. So in that, we'll go up to the top of our QGIS map that we've got open. And in the layer drop-down list, we'll click on that. Click on Create Layer. Click on New Shapefile Layer. And it'll open up a dialog box for New Shapefile Layer. We want to create a point shapefile, and that's already selected. The projection we want to use is WGS84, which is already selected by default. And then we have this new field. So these are all the different attributes we want to collect. And so the first one I want to collect is the name of the feature. We're going to collect it in text data. We don't know how long the length is going to be, but I imagine it won't be more than 80 characters. So we're going to leave it at the preset length of 80 characters. And we're going to add this field to the list of attributes that we can collect. So you see down here it drops in with name, it's a string, and its length is 80 digits. The next one we want to collect is city. And again, I don't know how long the city's name will be, but it probably won't be over 80 characters. So we'll go ahead and just keep the preset there also. Next will be address. And again, I don't know how long that will be, so we'll keep the preset. State. I do know how long that will be. We're going to have California every time. So we're going to reduce the maximum number of character length to 20. Add that. Symbol. This may not make a whole lot of sense to you right now, but we will be characterizing these points by a couple of different categories. And for right now, this first one will probably be a photo opportunity or a photo op, is how we'll symbolize it, or how we'll characterize it. And when we're all done collecting these, we can go in and symbolize them based on their characteristic, based on, for instance, a photo opportunity we could symbolize with a camera at that point on the map. So none of the symbols go over 20 characters, so we're going to use that for symbol. Phone number. None of those will go over 20 characters, so we'll use 20. Website. Some of these can get rather long, so I'm going to use a maximum of 120 here. And then the last one I've got listed as photos. When we started off collecting these points in Chicago, we had a lot of points that I had photos of, and so I was planning on using self-taken photos that I have taken along the route to populate this attribute. But once we got beyond where I've taken photos, there are Facebook and Wikipedia and other websites that we can add in as a kind of a secondary website for the point. So we may end up changing the name for this later, but for now I'm still going to call it photos. Okay, that's all the data that we need to load in for our container, for our shapefile. And we're going to go ahead and click OK to finish this new shapefile layer dialog box. And it's going to ask us what we want to save the shapefile name as. So last time we saved Route 66 California Road in the projection. This time I want to save very similar. So I'm going to click on this just to get the name. And I'm going to change it from Route 66 California Road to Route 66 California Places. And that should work for our shapefile. And you can see it added it to our QGIS map. And just like I did for the road when we digitized the line feature, I'm going to drag this down to the bottom just to keep it in kind of chronological order as we go across the US. You can see down here that all these other Route 66 places files all have, this is how they're symbolized or they're styled. And ours is styled a little different. So what I want to do is see if I can import the styles from the other Route 66 files. We will have a video on this later, but I'm just going to go into properties for Route 66 places, style. I'm going to load style. And what I want is, this is from the places layer, so I want to load the layer symbology. And that will help us. These are the different symbols that we're going to use and how they are symbolized on our map. So we're going to be looking for bike shops, campgrounds, museums, parks, photo opportunities, and restaurants. And these are the symbols that will show up on the map for each of those. Okay, I think we're actually at the point now where we can start to digitize along the map. We'll make sure Route 66 California Places is the one we want to add data to. So we'll make sure that's active, and we'll come up and click the toggling editing on. And we'll go ahead and get started. I want to first collect this Old Trails Bridge. Because one of the things that works really well, this layer is a Google hybrid satellite layer, and it looks very similar to the Google Maps layer when you open up Google Maps and you use the satellite. And even all the labeling is very similar. So I'm going to use information I can get off of Google Maps to help me in my quest to digitize these points in our maps. So the first one I want to do, I want to come up here, editing is on. So this is your editing boxes up here. This first one is add a feature. So I want to add a feature right here on top of the bridge. Yeah, we're just going to call it the same thing that Google Maps called it, the Old Trails Bridge. And if I go into Google Maps and click on the labeling for the Old Trails Bridge, it will give me some information that I can use on my map. So it'll give me the city is Topic, Arizona. The address it gives me, 15130 Historic Route 66. State is Arizona. Symbol, I want to call this a photo op. Phone number, there's no phone number listed, so I won't be able to add that this time. Website URL, I don't see a website listed, but I did notice there was a Wikipedia site for this earlier. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Here we go. There is a very nice Wikipedia site, and it also includes a photo of the bridge. So if I put the Wikipedia site in here, and I can right click on the photo of the bridge and copy the link address and paste it in here. When we get all done with our Route 66 map, we should be able to, when somebody clicks on our point, we should be able to call up this information and show the photo. Okay, so when I hit click on OK, because we've labeled this as a photo op, I think we should get a little camera symbol show up right where we digitize the point. We did, it's hard to see, but let me change the labeling for this point to white in color, and we'll be able to see the labeling a little bit easier. There, so this is our point that we saved with the Old Trails Bridge name. Okay, we're gonna go do a couple more, not a whole lot, but a few more. Let me zoom out a little bit. Go to our pan function. One of the things I wanted to include was some parks and some recreational vehicle places for camping along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and do this Moabi Regional Park. And again, if I click on Google Maps, the same spot, it gives me a nice bit of information to work from. So I want to go ahead and collect Mowabi Regional Park. This is in the city of Needles. 100 Park Mowabi Road, California. This is a park. There is a phone number, 760-326-9000. Website URL. It has it listed here. I'll click on it and see how it shows up. It does show up with a very nice web page. So let me copy that. And what I also thought I would do is see if there's a Facebook page for this, maybe. Because a lot of these parks along the way do have Facebook pages. No, don't see one. Okay, so that's all we're going to get from Mowabi. When I click on this, you should see a little pine tree show up that symbolizes our park. Yep. And I thought I would click on Pirate Cove Resort and Marina. See how that looks. It's like a very nice place, so we're going to go ahead and collect that feature too, and that'll be the last one we'll do here. Pirates Cove Resort, or Pirate Cove, Resort and Marina, City, Needles. $100 Park Niobe Mowabi, I guess. California. Symbol is a photo op this time. I only want to use real parks as parks, not really amusement parks. Phone number 760-326-9000, which makes it sound like it's all part of the Mowabi Regional Park. So I'm going to change this back to park. Website URL. Have a nice looking website. And my guess is that, wow, that they probably do have a Facebook page. So let's see. They do. So I'm going to click OK, and a little pine tree should show up down there too. And it does. So that's where I'm going to stop for now. There's all sorts of things that we can digitize between the California border and Santa Monica. There's going to be a lot of cultural icons along the side of the roadway. So just thought I'd show you real quickly how to digitize points in QGIS. When you're when we finished digitizing the lines, remember you had to right click and save when you were done. Points don't work that way. You add the points, and when you're done adding the points, you click on the Save Edits button, and the point edits that you made are all saved to the database. So I saved those. Let's stop editing. We'll toggle off the editing. And I want to pick up my map next time right in the same spot, so I'm going to save the map. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll have some other videos that we'll post here in just a couple of days.